what life's going to bring to you. You can try, you know what I'm
So
saying? And
I
what
my
you got?
go ahead. My takeaway of this is
Told you go
like
ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I heard that. He's like, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, we're just gonna start this shit live.
The only time I caught the Holy Ghost was when I was in church drinking.
Like they're two dumb dudes. Welcome to the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. Hold up. You gotta say that again. Yeah, your wife asked you what?
Yeah,
like I don't. Truth be told, I don't think she listens to the pod because we talk about shit that she doesn't understand.
Yeah.
But she like heard me talking about cheek juice and like review, and then she was like, "What the hell is that?" And I was like, like I said, you don't want to know, but like I was like, fucking Chris.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I knew I was coming up. Hey, shout out the camera. That's where I got it from.
Like,
Get some cheeks
God
after this.
damn.
But you gotta say it the way he said it. You gotta like look at him like a chipmunk. Get some cheeks after this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad that it's reverberating. Our conversations are reverberating in the after. It's kind of like when we first started. They looked at Chris. It was like, "Hey, did Sarat really say, 'Fuck y'all, I got dreams'?" When we were talking about kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know. I think I like the conversations that we have on here because they're just honest. They're honest and they're open, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because sometimes again you get to a certain place in life. Sometimes when you're worried about money coming in, you might change the way you speak out just because it might mess up the income.
Speaking of the way you speak, so when you're talking, the echo comes in when you back away a little bit, but if you keep the mic right there, like not that, it's too exaggerated, but there, like you can't hear it.
All right,
like, do the weekends.
Like we don't want you to like be at a 45-degree angle the entire time. Like, oh my,
just slowly rise up the whole episode. Like fucking like the dude, like the bad guy in a Lego movie.
Oh gosh.
Well, with that being said, welcome to the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. It's your boy Sarat, aka Makazi.
Your boy Chris Barnicki and Red Ford Delta. What's everybody doing out there?
It's your boy at the Sunset Kid 5'6" Marcos. Where I believe everybody's good, man.
You better be good with the do-rag on. Like we saw them what them braids look like when they was out. You trying to get waves?
I ain't trying to get waves. Hey, you know what? I'll take off the goddamn do-rag. You got the Steve Harvey lineup too? Okay.
Yeah, Foodacris over here.
This guy.
Look, Marcus gonna beat the shit out you when he see you. He gonna show you with one of them braids.
I gotta catch him first. Those short, tiny people are very slippery and quick. It's like, oh, you gotta catch
me. Just throw some rice outside. He's like, oh shit, food.
Bro, I'm a jungle Asian, man. My toes grip. I climbed that tree in one shot. I can pick up a TV remote with my feet, bro.
I've actually seen him do it. This motherfucking spider monkey like a motherfucker. Like, we watch The Love Hurts. The spider monkey, no good, nothing, 4-foot ninja. That's right.
Dude, I swear to God, my baby toe on my right foot, that shit spread so wide. I could put a like a rubber band there and like shoot like a slingshot. Man, my toes be doing the fucking Hawaiian salute.
Hang loose.
That's why he never botched in the ring.
Oh yeah,
he had feet gripping
for real.
Well, speaking of gripping, this movie that Chris picked, let's talk about gripping and tension because this movie had a lot going for it, and it had a lot going against it. So, Chris, why don't you tell people what movie you picked?
Movie I picked this week was Flow on HBO Max. I picked it because, like other movies we watched, I want to see the hype about it. I want to know if it was worth an Oscar or Emmy or whatever the heck they was talking about. And I mean, basically, they hyped the movie up the same way they did Saltburn. We ain't gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying?
Marcus, did you ever see Saltburn?
No, and I'm glad I have because my wife has been trying to have conversations about it. My mother-in-law brought up the scene that everybody brings up, and I was like,
which one? The grave scene or the tub scene?
Which scene? There's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot in that movie.
The scene when apparently oral was performed while she was on her monthly visitor. And then like
Outside?
picture
I like it raw.
like picture you're like out coffee and then your mother-in-law turns to you and she's like, oh my god, saltburn, like that part. And then like me and the wife Lily were like, no, we're not having this conversation. First of all, I was like, I didn't see it, so please don't spoil it, even though I'm never gonna probably see it.
Bro,
It's like
let's say there better been
Yeah.
strawberry, like, syrup or something.
Puree.
it's like that movie brought me back to like, do you guys remember when 50 Shades of Grey came out?
No.
And like people were having weird conversations about S&M because of this movie, and I was like, "What are you guys talking about?"
Bro,
Like,
listen,
so
but listen, that scene, that ain't even the worst scene in the movie. But
I haven't
think
watched
the
it.
tub
That's
scene. The tub scene.
I don't even
Should've
want to
made
talk
me-
about it.
No,
Open my mouth.
yeah. We'll leave that alone. Let's get back to flow.
Okay, so all right, so Chris, so this movie Flow, right?
It goes right into flow.
yeah, yeah.
So, like you said, there was a lot of hype around it. And I've never heard of this movie. So, what kind of hype did you hear about it? Did you just?
What are you
see something
talking
pop up?
about? It won Best Animated Film in the 1997 the
1997.
No, the 97th Academy Awards. It's like
Oh.
I
But I don't
This
even
was-
know. I thought it was like the third Academy Award. You can't 97th. I don't follow that shit.
Okay,
Like,
so
this ain't
it's-
WrestleMania.
it's the last one. The awards of this year. That's when it was. It won, or actually last year rather. So,
Okay.
So it's okay. So I didn't know it won. I just knew it was hype about being nominated and all kinds of stuff. So that's what caught my attention. If people are gonna hype up a movie,
Wait. What did it go up against?
I don't know.
Remember how we watched The Boy and the Heron?
No. It went up against Moana 2 and a couple other heavy hitters, and it beat out Pixar and Disney. So that's
What movie
something
was from
like
Pixar?
Well, in my opinion,
I
I see
wanted.
one or two.
I
I'm
can
not
tell
mad
you
at
right
it.
now.
Read it.
Yeah. You tell us who it went up against. Because again, like you said, me and Chris, we watched The Boy and the Heron specifically because it beat out Across the Spider-Verse. And I like the movie. I can see why artsy people would go towards that, but in my opinion, Across the Spider-Verse,
was so much better.
yeah.
The story was better.
All right.
Spider-Verse is just better.
So if Flow beat out Inside Out 2, it beat out Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit,
Wallace and
Vengeance,
Gromit. Put some respect on that
Gromit,
name.
excuse me, and The Wild Robot. Those are all heavy hitters. Wallace and Gromit never lose, but they lost this time around.
Yeah, but okay.
Interesting, because
I
I
need to
saw,
see
I saw
Wild-
Wild
good.
Robot, and Wild Robot was good. I actually watched it on the phone.
I heard it was really good. I want to see Wild Robot.
But
Okay,
you also got to understand that this particular movie, the rumor has it that it was made by 5 people. Like the core of the movie was made by 5 people on laptops. It's like a Latvian art production. Like they had no money behind this. Like if you look at the credits, and I did, it's a whole bunch of it is like producers. There's a bunch of animators, but not as many as you would see like in the traditional big movies.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, because like I heard about it, and I'm always a fan of an underdog, and the movie was beautiful. Like I thought it looked like an anime type deal. That's why I avoided it, because I know we spoke about it before. Ghibli Studios, I'm not a big fan of them. I love the movies for what they are, but I'm very lowbrow. I like action, anime. So I'm not like a Spirited Away guy, and I'll probably get hate for that in the comments or whatever. But
Chris,
it is what it is.
What would you like in this movie too?
Well, I'm actually just sitting there thinking about every movie he just named. If that was what it went up against and it won, then I'm not mad at it, because Wild Robot to me was a good second place.
But okay, after watching this movie,
I watched it twice.
Do you think it should have beat Wild Robot?
Yes, and the reason why, for one reason alone, no words.
Okay.
You're allowed to create your own
Yeah.
your own words in it,
Yeah.
your own vocabulary.
I'm a sucker for an art movie or an artistic movie, and when people go out of the box and try something new. So like when I watch this movie on a plane coming back from where was I? Not Barcelona. I was in one of them European places. But I was watching it, and It was actually a very powerful movie. I was like, I couldn't believe Chris was, jumping into his Picasso bag and trying to
No,
be artsy right now.
First of all,
like,
I think in my like I'm not even gonna bullshit you, Chris. I thought you thought this was like the prequel to Hustle and Flow. Like
get
you
the
thought,
fuck out of here.
like you thought it was like Flow. Like, but no, this movie was powerful. Like I don't know, man. Like it got me in a YouTube hole. Like after watching it, like breaking down the meaning and like all this stuff, and like I was like, man, this movie's dope. And I hope it stays as a one off.
Well, you're gonna do fucking Flow 2, Flow Harder?
I don't know, but like so. So the movie's original Latvian name is Strame, which is like storm.
Yeah.
And I think I wish it would have been called Storm, but I guess it would have confused people. So Flow, because the water and like
why would it confuse people if it was called Storm? Because it's always X-Men?
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. I think the idea of it being called Storm would be good. There was some parts where it creates a world where like sometimes if you overthink it, you might wonder like why are these certain things taking place or why are they in this area? But like no, it was a beautiful movie. The art style, see, and this is the problem I had with that fucking Ninja Reborn, which I actually liked, but that looked like they tried to go, oh, we're gonna make a computer animated movie, so let's make it look like computer animated movie. These guys, they tried to do something different. They were trying to make art, which is fucking dope.
Well, and I just like it. I like it's funny.
Like this, you gotta go like this. When you got the braid, you gotta tap it. You can't just go in between. You gotta tap the braid.
This guy.
Even I know that.
Just like that.
Come on. But I like this movie.
Do the Beyonce, pat your weave. You know what I'm saying?
I don't gotta weave. This is all my hair. I feel like I gotta keep telling you guys this.
Nah, bro, that's you got it down so you can put your wig on later.
Yep, you know it.
He's gonna go film Precious 3.
Oh God.
Yep.
Oh man.
But like this movie reminds me a lot, especially since last year I was really into this game Stray. I don't know if you guys played it on PlayStation. It basically follows a cat. It's a little bit different, and it's like no words and nothing. It's like literally a cat. You follow a cat throughout the entire story. You're the cat. You try to get through certain environments to get around the game. And like I was like, oh, like I thought it was like affiliated to it. I was completely wrong. This is way better than that video game. And I'm really glad that Chris, you picked this against all odds. Like I was expecting to see some weird cat sex or something.
Look,
opening scene.
Just because I like being intimate. You know what I'm saying?
Other cats.
I like to
with cats. I have my cats watch me.
Anything in purse.
Oh, shit.
But no, because Marcus, I don't think you know this. My favorite movie overall in my entire life is Big Fish. And if you see it, it's a big artsy movie, a lot of metaphors. So as crazy as I am on one aspect, I'm very, very I like to dive deep into a movie to see if my mental can piece things together. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, speaking of mental, this movie again, like you said, Chris, it's a silent movie. Not silent as in no sound, because there is sound. You get the sounds of the animals and the environment, but no dialogue. Do you both think a movie like this is accessible to a mass audience, or do you think it's this is just for the people who are really into art and really into storytelling?
I think it is. I think it is a very palatable to the masses.
You think on a Sunday afternoon you could take the kids to Regal Cinema and watch this?
Yeah, I think honestly kids would enjoy this. Kids enjoy this because think about movies like Fantasia. How successful was Fantasia, and was there a lot of spoken word in that?
Yeah, but Fantasia was Disney, and it had music.
So this had music in the soundtrack, but in the music in Fantasia,
it had a soundtrack. Didn't have music.
But in Fantasia,
it had a score.
Yeah, Fantasia did not have any spoken word music.
You got Mickey.
Yeah, but Mickey was like basically the cat emoted. All the animals in this movie emoted a lot of communication that you didn't need dialogue for.
Okay,
and so
Go
No,
ahead,
go
Chris.
ahead. No, I'm saying I think that with that being said, it can like be in a movie theater. Now, granted, I don't think children will sit through it all unless because it's for me, it's a movie that you're made to think. Like there's some parts of the movie where I was from the hood ad libbing, and there's some parts of the movie where I was sitting at the White House. You know what I'm saying? Just the way the scene was playing out.
You're doing your own voices.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Was
I
one of
like,
them at some point? Oh, my children's.
like,
Nah,
like,
one was this motherfucker broke my mirror.
yeah, that part. You know what I'm saying? Like even when the little lemur got on the boat and the cat went and scratched the paws, and I was like, this motherfucker. That's what I kept saying in my head. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
Bro.
Marcos, I want you to do something for me real quick. Go
Yeah, go
look
ahead.
up and see how much Fantasia made when it was in theaters.
Yeah.
Because again,
In the
this
80s?
movie, I really like this movie. I like that it was very artsy, but like again, Fantasia came out in a different time, and I just feel like a movie like this, it's one of those things that like it's an incredible movie. It's really good, but it's not something that's gonna get the love that it should get off rip. It's gonna take like 15, 20 years for people to go back and then tell their kids about it.
So basically, I'm gonna equate it to Fantasia 2000, which was like a remake slash updated.
No, because the thing is, well, Fantasia 2000, you got people that remember Fantasia, so they
Okay.
might go watch it, just off the fact of nostalgia.
All right, so check this out. Fantasia came out in 1940, right?
Holy shit!
Goddamn.
With a budget of $2.28 million,
Okay.
and it made equivalent to $84 million in Canada and the U.S. alone.
Yeah, but they ain't have that was. I feel like those were the kind of movies that just came out around that. I didn't know it came out in the 1940s.
I mean, when
I
you
would
thought
say,
it came
yeah.
out? 1985?
Honestly, yeah, like this late 70s, early 80s because of the
Yeah,
color.
I really thought it came out in like the 70s or 80s.
The color TV didn't come out to what the 50s. I thought.
So this movie came out with a budget of 3.5 million, and it made 21 million in the U.S. alone.
Okay.
Come on, Flo.
That's literally like almost 15 times its budget.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm not saying that at that, but what I'm saying is like I think it's one of those movies that we'll do okay. I won't do too well in the theater, but then in 15 years, people are gonna look back at it as like a fucking classic. Kind of like kind of like Fantasia, kind of like I don't know what, like They Live. People, it's a cult classic.
first of all, They Live and Fantasia are two.
No, but all I'm saying is
different.
it's something that doesn't get the love it get. Like okay, Friday didn't get the love it did in theaters, but now you look back, you're like how did this not?
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. No, it was a very emotional movie, man. Like the story is
You would
have
say
this.
emotional.
Yeah, that's because that's how that's
You
how
the
it.
dogs. You
That's
the
how.
dogs.
Listen.
The
First of all,
dogs. I know.
I was glad. I was glad that the golden retriever or the Labrador was the fun one, but a group of dogs, they're not that diverse usually, right? In the wild,
Out here, yes, they are here in the country.
yeah. Listen,
So currently this movie is sitting at
that's because your
98%.
dog's probably like the parent to all of them.
So listen to this. Currently
Out there
this
just getting
movie
it.
is sitting at 98% on
fixed.
Rotten Tomatoes. And Metacritic has it at 89 out of 100.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's a really good movie. I'm not saying it's not a great movie. It is. But how many great movies have we seen that didn't do great in theaters, but then, years down the road, you look back at it and realize, hey, that was something special. I think this movie is something special. I think you should watch this with your kids. I don't think kids you will really pay attention to it. And then, you'd have to like maybe go into a conversation with the kids. Like what conversation, Chris, what conversation would you have with your kids about this movie?
Honestly, it'd be more the overall message, in my opinion, is about coming together. Like you can't control what life's going to bring to you. You can try,
So,
saying in
go ahead. My takeaway of this is
Go ahead. Sorry.
like
I heard that shit. He's like, go ahead, brother.
you're like, go ahead, bro. No, but
Go ahead. So, anyways,
no, like I think you're 100% right. It's about coming together and like go ahead and finish your point because like it's like jumping out of me. Like I just want to say it because I'm gonna forget it.
Say it. Go. Go.
So like the cat, like this is something that I was thinking about, and I wanted to see maybe if I was crazy, and I did some research. Cats are generally individuals that are self-preserving, like
Hmm.
they think about themselves as individuals. Unlike dogs, they run in packs. This cat runs alone, and but at the end of the movie, he made choices that got him to the point that it kind of mirrors. Remember in the beginning of the movie, he's looking at his reflection and he just
Hmm.
sees himself. And then at the end, they're all looking at the reflection. So the singular being became part of a collective that they're all there to protect and care for each other. So that like this movie has an amazing message however you take it, and like it has a couple of religious connotations that if you think about it, like I was like the whole boat and the flooding was bringing me Noah's Ark vibes, you know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
And it's like remains of a civilization. So it's a lot of crazy things that this movie had, and like it said it wasn't in your face. It was very nuanced. Like, you know what I mean? It was very subtle in its delivery of the points. And it kind of, like you said, it's one of those, I know you asked Chris, but it's like, you got to explain to children this movie on how they receive it. You can't be like, oh my God. Like if they're like, I really liked that the cat and his friends were fine. And then you're like, but you see, brother, the cat represents this. And then like, you can't talk to like a 6-year-old
Yeah.
Yeah.
like that. Like, like, but go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry I interrupted. I just need to get that out. It's
No, I mean you was
like
itching. I mean, you got an itch scratchy. You know what I'm saying? Shit. But
No, just
yeah.
pat the itch.
But I mean, but even how the movie starts off, like you said, like from the reflection, which is why I felt like the lemur's character was so interesting because the lemur was so self-centered. You know what I'm saying? Like even when they tried to save it, it was like, no, I need all my stuff to come with me, and everybody else on the boat was like, yo, we don't got shit but us. But we'll help you get this little basket. And the funniest part of the movie to me is when how capybara, whatever it is.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
capybara.
capybara.
yeah,
Capybara.
when it walks up to the lemur and just plops itself down and knocks her stuff over, like
Mhm.
man, fuck your couch, nigga. That's what I kept hearing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I one of the one of the details and the plot points that I liked about this movie is, there's a scene in there where it felt like the cat, was on its own, just living life, trying to maybe remember the life it used to have with its owner, who clearly loved fucking cats, was like fucking making
And hope
statues
that
and
catch
carving them.
statues and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. But then, once the flood came and, the cat kind of had to start, trying to survive, it was kind of relying on other animals and everyone else to help him, you know?
Mm.
Like, even in the beginning when he's running away from the dogs, and the only reason he even got his mouth on the fish in the first place is because the Labrador let him have it, you know?
Mm.
And then, but it got to a point where he was on the boat, and then all of a sudden he looked and realized like he could start doing for himself. He could start, taking control of his situation. So that's when he jumped in the water and started grabbing the fish and bringing it onto the boat. And
Yeah.
then he gave a fish to the lab. He's like, hey, like, I remember what you did for me. So it was almost one of those things where it's like, sometimes for people, you get to a point where, you feel like you have to lean on everyone else to help you survive until you realize, hey, I can help this boat. I can help this situation get better. It doesn't have, I don't just have to just wait for everyone else to do everything for me.
Which I thought was also significant because the boat, in my opinion, the boat was the capybara's boat because he was the first one on it.
Yeah.
But the cat steered it. The crane, was it a crane or what was that bird?
I don't know what kind of bird that was, but that
I think
motherfucker was a G. Got curb stomped and everything.
like,
Like, God
See?
damn. That shit was like, I was like, oh shit. I just wanted someone to go, fuck your wing, motherfucker.
I told you.
according to the credits out there, man, yeah, he did get fucked up.
They held him down. They held him down.
Yeah, it was a
With their feet.
it was a secretary bird, which I honestly don't know what the fuck. It's like it's so crazy.
I've actually heard of those. I've seen those at the zoo before. But
Okay, I've never seen them.
Chris, what you drinking?
My good old Dr. Pepper cream soda, aka
that.
Chick Juice.
So if what I drink is booty juice, is that jizz juice? 'Cause it's Dr. Pepper
No,
cream. It's
no,
cream of a doctor
no.
named Pepper.
If you deal with a spicy,
no,
if you deal
Marco's
with a
got
spicy
that.
woman,
Marco's got that clear
Dr.
cheap
Pepper.
juice today. You know, like
Nah,
you used to have a clear
This is just water,
That's
guys.
clear
No.
cheap juice. Nah,
Look, this is
cheap
the
juice
perfect
free.
when you deal with a spicy woman. She got that good cream. There you go. That's all I'm leaving. That's the Dr Pepper right there.
Or if you had the wrong cream, you got to call Dr. Pepper.
Bro,
We
yeah,
call we call Glenn for that.
yeah. Go and get the ointment. It's on the floor in the club. But no,
Oh,
okay,
man.
so what do you think about this collection of animals and the fact that they were able to get the type of emotion they were able to out of these animals? Like, because
So-
you get some live action movies that don't get this kind of emotion. I
Well,
use the word emotion again, Chris. Fuck
I
you.
know. Yeah, I know. I know you're feeling sentimental right now. You know,
Nah,
went
dude.
overseas and
Listen.
experienced.
The only reason you don't like emotions because they
It
ran
makes you
out of the
soft.
Big Macs last week.
I don't like
That
Big Mac
special
no way.
sauce, that
Whopper.
special sauce is gone. He was highly upset. So
Oh man.
So the capybara is so like I looked up these individual animals, not for the movie, just
See,
like
you
the
be doing
character.
studying. You take a movie.
No, because like when
put the
when
research
I'm
in.
really into a movie, I like knowing what I'm talking about. So I was like, what is a capybara? And then one thing that
Big ass rat.
it's a rodent, but their characteristics are that they're very friendly. And that's why they like are so easy to be preyed upon. Like I don't know if you remember in the movie when the cat met him, he was like, like he didn't
Yeah.
care. Like the dog, the crane, all these animals that could be like a predator to him. He was like, whatever, everybody, we happy, we cool. And then you got the lemur. The lemur is known for being possessive and having human like traits,
Mm.
which fits in with them being self centered, with them being into possessions, and them being cruel. Like remember when they showed up at the amphitheater, or whatever that opening was, your man was chilling with his peoples with the other lemurs, and then he saw the cat, and then he's like, psst, he's sitting there with
Yeah.
what I like to assume was a group of bitches with him. He was like, he's like, hey, so look at this shit that I got here. Like he completely ignored the cat, and
Yeah.
like, and then he's like, my bad, dog. Like you know how it is. You got a few lemurs around me. You know, I turn into a different person. And then you got the dogs that are like all of them are like big and
Why they roll up
strong.
in their Why they roll up in their own boat like it's Carnival Cruise?
Yeah,
Going.
that was the only thing. But then, like, if you notice, dogs are exclusive. They run in packs, but they don't run in packs with like other animals. That's why I felt like when they rolled up, they were like, "Yo!" to the Labrador, like, "Come on, dog! Like, why are you talking to that cat? We need to roll out, get in this boat, son." And
Yeah.
then like it was fun.
Did y'all
It's funny how we
identify
all-
with any of those animals?
It's funny how we all got hood references to this movie.
Yeah.
Because when again, like you said, when you get a film or anything where there's no dialogue, you're in a dialogue. Fills all that in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but were there any animals in the movie that y'all like specifically connected with?
I would say the Labrador.
I don't know.
I'm big, dumb, and like very, very loving. Like I like to,
Come on,
I
man.
like to be
Don't
cool.
be,
with people.
bro, don't be so hard on yourself. You're not very loving.
But like, you know what I mean? Like I like to help out people. Like, I felt like me and Chris became fast friends and started texting like as soon as we got each other's numbers.
I know y'all did. You little Asian motherfucker.
No.
Next time you see him, kick him in the dick.
Curb stomp his dick. Hold him down with your foot. Get your homies to hold him down and break his wing.
Just throw a damn chicken shit.
What about you, Chris? Did you identify with any of them?
The black
Honestly,
dog.
I would. Nah, he didn't have no X on his chest. DMX all day. But honestly, I went back and forth from the cat and the capybara.
Okay.
Capybara being whatever I got, you got. I've always been that way.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if I see you playing for self, I'm gonna come kick your shit over and say do something about it, like he did to the lemur's basket. You know what I'm saying?
When he tossed that motherfucker's little globe thing in the water, get the shit out of here, bro. I'm doing something.
The crane did that. The crane was like, man, fuck your ball. And the capybara went to go get it, just so that big ass fish like, nah, fuck this. It turned around and swam back to the boat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we actually had to have a conversation about that fish. It was something interesting that I thought I had about that fish. So you saying
About
you think you're the
the
capybara?
whale? Or the
Yeah, the big ass whale with like the fucking with his little shit hanging off of it.
Did you guys watch the after credit scene?
No.
Oh man,
So
I don't
the
think I don't
whale,
think Prime let us. I think it cuts out after a while.
it was on Max. It
Oh
should
yeah,
have.
shit, I'm tripping. Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you if you if
click
you
back.
just click on it and make it, the whale's alive. Like they show it like swimming. So that was another piece. I was like, all
Oh
right,
yeah, because they found it on the in the grass towards the end of the movie, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And then we assumed that the audience had passed away, but after there was like an additional scene where you see him swimming later
Yeah.
on.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
It's so this is gonna be fucked up. I kind of connected with the crane.
okay,
That didn't even you in real life, but keep
No,
going.
but I'm saying because I can be kind of assholish, which was in the beginning, was when he was trying to catch the cat. But but for me, it was the thing where it's like when he rode for you, he rode for you. He even gave up his wing to
Hmm.
make sure that y'all was safe. And even then, he didn't leave y'all behind or whatever. He's just gonna do everything he can to make sure everybody around him was safe. To the point that
You know what?
his he might have like lost his life and all that shit, or he went away giving himself up to make sure everyone else was safe.
You know what? I got a
but
story to remind you of. Who was in the club one night, and the reason why you fit
they
this.
broke his wing.
Nah, he no. This motherfucker snapped my glass up my hand, like fuck you, drink, and then went back to dancing. But then he drove us all home. So yeah, he did some crane shit. He kicked the
But
ball.
wait, was
And
it a
fucked the ball.
glass or a plastic cup? Because if it was
a
a glass,
glass.
you
No, no,
were wilding, dog.
no, it was a plastic cup. And
Oh, okay.
I had just because this was back when I was drinking heavy, and it was a straight glass of Jack Daniels, just me, full. Like I
Probably
had it.
cost like $45 at the
I
club.
mean, I'm on the floor dancing. You know what I'm saying? It's rock walks up, and he's sitting there bouncing. It just smacks it like you don't want that shit. And I want to fight him. Like yo, that's my drink, dude. And it was fresh. It was just made. It's pure whiskey.
But
And then he
first
went
of
back
all,
to the floor and started dancing.
listen.
Shit.
First of all, listen. I had just started drinking then, so I might not have been able to handle, or act right.
Your coordination was off.
Yeah, and I'll blame you for the drinking because I didn't
Oh,
drink
shit.
until I met you, bro.
He meant to like karate kick it up in the air, drink it, and then put it back in your hand. But
he smacked that shit up my hand like fuck your
Right,
drink. You know what I'm saying?
So okay, so here's the thing that I was talking about with the whale. So again, when the storm came and everybody else's life was thrown, to the wind, everybody's trying to, survive, do whatever they can to go. In that moment, the whale was having a great life, swimming.
yeah, he was like,
doing
yes.
anything. But
Mhm.
when everything else, when the water dissipated and everyone else was finally like, okay, everything's good, then you had the whale, on the fucking grass, like I can't breathe, I can't swim. So do you think I took that as like saying, no matter how good life can get for one person, if that same situation can be shitty for someone else. Like, how did y'all take that?
Mm.
I saw that point as well, and it's true. This is why this movie hits on so many levels. Like you can sit there, like if you're one of those people that has to look for meaning and everything, like this movie is chock full of them. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like yeah, and it's like maybe the betterment of your situation is something that hinders somebody else's situation.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like let's say for example, like I love an analogy. Like let's say I get robbed, right? And but then I have the cops arrest a person.
Mhm.
Like me getting robbed, that probably benefited the individual if they were doing it for like, to feed their family. But then me getting them arrested makes me feel safe and makes me feel like, oh, okay, now we're even. But then whoever this person is supporting loses their number one supporter and now they got to deal with more hardship. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't even think it needs to be that direct, like, one versus one. Let's say, for instance, you get a promotion at work or you get a raise, you get a good raise at work. All right, that's great for your situation. But, sometimes in getting that raise, someone else has to lose their job because their, budgets and all that shit,
Yeah.
So you didn't do anything directly to hurt this other person's life, but your situation becoming better can sometimes impact another person's situation in a negative way. And I feel like sometimes, our lives are so insular that we can only think about how things that happen in life affect us and not necessarily how it affects everyone else around. I don't know if we're supposed to. Are we supposed to think about how our situations affect other people?
I think
That's a good question.
to to a certain point when it's something that you could directly control, like you know what I mean. I think like here's an example. Like every holiday season, after Black Friday, they're like small
We
business
call it Chris
Saturday.
Friday in my house.
They're
I don't
like
even go to church on
small
that damn day.
they're like small business Friday. I mean, for small business Saturday, and it's like I get it. I would love to support a small mom and pop shop, but if I can only afford to buy groceries at Walmart, I can't go to like the bodega because my dollar's not going to go further there. Like you know what I mean? There's
Mm,
situations, but if I'm a person that it doesn't matter where I shop and my dollars can make a difference and make a break for a business, then yeah, morally I would feel obligated to shop where I feel my money would do better.
Yeah.
Not
mm,
not for inconvenience, but like situations like that. But I'm not gonna be like, okay, in Walmart it costs $5 for like an item and it costs 20 at the small business, and I'm already on a budget. I'm not gonna destroy myself to make sure that this other small business thrives while I can't help myself. It's
mm,
like it's like the old adage, like you can't help others until you help yourself.
mm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Put your mask
Yeah.
on before you help someone else with theirs.
Exactly.
Wait,
Yeah.
what about you, Chris?
Um. That's
Did
a
you get
question
the
again.
question?
Yeah. Like,
As a
it was a
dude,
good.
should we have to consider as people like other people's situations when factoring our situations getting better?
I just think it comes down to the situation, because sometimes a person has to be what I call a healthy selfish.
Okay.
Because if you can't take care of yourself, what can you do for somebody else?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, if you're on your own or doing your own thing, then you don't have to worry about anybody else, because who's there to worry about? But if you got a family or kids or whatever the case may be, your friends, whatever, like now, if I do this and I make this decision, it'll be good for me. It's going to affect somebody I care about in a bad way. And if it does, then you really don't give a shit about that person, or you're just really, really that selfish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it just depends on the situation, because sometimes you have to be selfish, especially if you know what you're about to do is going to carry everybody else over.
Give us an example. Give us an example that you would use as saying like, okay, this is a situation where it's healthy to be selfish.
Um, Based on my life, a previous relationship I was in, where I had to make a decision to take a certain job that I didn't want to take, but I knew it would carry the family over,
Yeah.
and they hated me for it. But once it all panned out, oh, now you see what I was doing now. Yes, I had to sacrifice my time and my space and everything to go do this,
Hmm.
but look at what everything that we got now because of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I had to be a healthy selfish, which was not even, I can't even say it was selfish, because it was a bigger reason that nobody could see but me.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. I think you guys are both right, and there's a reason why they say when you're on a plane and they give you that safety check, like, put your mask on before you help someone else out, because again, if you try to think of someone else first before yourself, sometimes that puts two people in a bad situation.
Yeah.
And it's hard to help anyone else out when you're also struggling yourself, because you might also look at that person and then just resent the fact that they're in a situation they got put in a good situation because you helped them out, and
Hmm.
then if they don't reach back, whose fault is that? Is it
See,
their fault or your fault? You know,
but then it's like catch 22 too. Like, if you want to take it back to the Bible days, and I don't remember her name. I don't know if y'all religious or whatever.
Mary.
No, I don't know if it was Mary or not, but it was a lady that I don't know if it was Jesus or somebody came to her house to get something to eat, and she had cooked her last bit of food,
Mhm.
and she gave him the meal, and because she did that, gave her last, she was blessed beyond measure because of it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like, it's a catch 22. I think you got to flip the situation, trust your gut. That's the best I
It,
got.
but also, I think that's the mode that people survive in. That they're like, a lot of people want to become martyrs for certain things when it's just like, hey, man, like there was a way to work it out. Like I always I always thinking about the Titanic situation.
Mhm.
Like when he's like Rose, go ahead, live on. When it could have been like, hey, man, we could have both just just taking turns, or we could have both got stayed on the door. Like, you know what I mean? There's so many ways. It's like people are like, you know what I mean? They want to have this hero moment, and it's like yeah, like, you know, in the Bible, that story itself, a lot of people, you can't honestly take the Bible literally sometimes because it's
Mhm.
full of a lot of interpretations and metaphors and stuff like that. So it it like if somebody comes in, you know what I mean, and you like, I don't think the Messiah himself would ask you to like make me all your food. I think he would want you to bless him as a part of as your family, like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna give you what I can spare. Like, don't be like, oh, I don't have anything, I just can't spare anything, you know what I mean? Like, I
Definitely.
like, you know, if it's like, if us three, we're in a situation that we're caught out there, we're stuck somewhere, and I'm the only one that have food, like, he wouldn't
You
like,
starving, I guess.
yeah.
He said, "Yeah."
No, but it's like the expectation is not that I was like, hey, I ain't got no food. And also the expectation is not for me to like, here you go, guys. Like, this
Right.
is
Hey,
the last of my
have all my food and I have
Yeah.
nothing, kind of thing.
yeah, it's like, let's
Definitely.
all partake together, you know,
Hmm.
like it's better than, instead of all like two people dying, and be like, all right, cool, we could all function on longer, and we could figure it out if we ration it out to all of us, you know what I mean?
Okay,
But
okay.
that's
Go ahead, Chris.
no, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Like you have to really just trust your gut in situations. Because I've been in situations in my life where I've had it, and then the person that I'm around or the group of people I'm with, and I'm like, nah, like I can't share this with y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I see you operate. But then I've been in situations where this is all I got, and I know this person has nothing. Like I could tell you a story. One of my good friends, I'll say his name Eric. We was all going through school to learn how to be gas mechanics. And at the time, I was the only one working out the group, which I only had a job working at for my church, working at Wingstop. That was my job at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, bro,
But
that's a terrible job for you. I've
look,
seen you at a plate of wings.
look, it was great. That's why it wasn't that terrible. You know what I'm saying? Lemon pepper. That's what I'm talking about. But either way, I went and brought a Subway sandwich. This is when it was still $5 at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And everybody got something to eat. But Eric's sitting there and we ain't got nothing. So we all in the same class trying to progress. And everybody, whether they brought lunch from home or whatever the case may be, we all eat something except for him. So I took half the sandwich and here, gave it to him. And he was just like, "You sure?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good." I'm like, we all in this together. Like I don't even know you, but you in the same class like I am, trying to be better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here we are 3 years later, and I hit a hard time and was trying to go see my daughter overseas, and he bought my plane ticket. And I was like, "Dude, why would you do that?" And he said, "Remember that time I didn't have nothing to eat? You gave me half a sandwich." And I said, "Dude, that was a $5 sandwich." He said, "Yeah, I wasn't hungry no more." It's shit like that.
You changed his life.
Yeah.
I probably, but it's shit
Yeah.
like that.
You
Where
put
you
them
gotta
on, you
trust
put
your
them on the
gut.
path to have a goddamn. No, I get. Here's the thought that doesn't get talked about a lot, and I feel like it's a taboo idea. But like everybody wants to believe that, do right by the people around you, and the universe will bless you back tenfold. Right?
Mhm.
Sometimes, and this thing people don't want to talk about. Sometimes the universe don't get you back.
No, sometimes
Sometimes
you.
you bless people and they don't reach back. And
Mm.
like in those situations, like, are you mad? Do you get mad at that person for not reaching back and helping you out?
Only if you had expectations from it.
But is that good? Is that good to have? Is that good to help anyone out in your life? Feeling like, hoping to have the expectation that they're going to help you when the time comes.
So if I could chime in on this, like,
Yeah.
um, it took a lot of years and a lot of maturity to realize that you can't do things with expectation. You just
Yep.
gotta do things either out of the goodness of your heart or out of a sense of responsibility.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I can't, like in a situation like Chris, I can't be like, all right, I'm gonna give you my half of my sandwich, and then the next day, if I forget my lunch, I can't be like, hey, dog,
What's up, the pork chops?
like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like,
Don't make that face again, bro.
like, hey, dog, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those situations. It's like we see it around. Like, we've partaked and hung out, Sarat, where, like, we've gotten each other drinks, but I'm not keeping a mental tab. Like, I'm not like,
Yeah.
oh, I bought you 18 drinks over the entire friendship,
Yeah.
I'm up on you. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's to me, like you can't worry about stuff like that. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like there's a terminology that people like oh, like if you got it, you got it. And it's not like to be like, oh, I have it in abundance. Is like, if you're gonna give something, give it. Don't
Yeah.
expect anything back. And that's how I am as an individual now. And we grow every day, that how I am with kindness. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could
Yeah.
be in a store, I could order some food, and I could see somebody like their card declining or something like that. Or like, you know, it doesn't matter what situation it is. They could be like a dope boy trying to get over. But I'm like, hey man, if I would have been there, I would have done this. And then it's like, oh man, it's like, nah, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, hey, I took care of it. Don't even worry about it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't need to think about the situation. I don't, like, if I'm in the mood to do it, or I do it, like, I don't expect somebody to pay it forward, be nice, but I don't have an expectation of it. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
paying me back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like how it is when, like, Chris, like when we're on vacation and stuff like that. Like, one of the things that we always do when we're on vacation, like we're out, like, hey, like, oh, I'll grab the check. Don't worry about it.
Mhm.
Okay, and then some people, no, I got it. Like, I ate this much. Like, no, don't worry about it. Like, just give it back later, whenever. It's like one of those things where it's like, when you're giving and you're helping out just for the out of the goodness of your own heart, in my opinion, then like you don't really, you don't keep those mental tabs. You don't keep that little checklist of how much you've done for someone, so that when that time comes and you need a favor, you're not asking them, like, hey, like, I helped you out back then. Can you help me out now? It's like, you might still ask them, hey, like, I need a favor. Can you help me out? And if they can't, I'm just like, all right, cool. And that might come into play next time you ask for a favor. I might not be as inclined to be like, hey, like, I got your back. But at the same time, it's like, you gotta, if you're giving with the expectation that you're going to get it back at some point later on, like, oh, to me, that just seems more selfish and more, just self-serving, rather than trying to, be the better person in the moment.
I think it
Like,
also comes to that whole phrase of that Marcos of, like they always say, don't pour your favorite drink into a cup with a hole in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
So it's like, if you know you're dealing with somebody or a situation where it's like, no matter what you give them, you see it just leak out the bottom.
Mhm.
It's like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do this for you no more because you're I guess, for lack of a better word, you're not careful with it. You don't
Yeah.
care about it. You know what I'm saying? Versus
Yeah.
if I gave this to you and you actually tried to do something with it or did something with it, then you cared about it as much. You cared about getting it as much as I care about giving it to you.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah, and I keep my expectations of a lot of individuals very low, because one of the worst emotions, at least for me, is disappointment. Like,
Mm.
when you, like, being disappointed is like, it's like you're putting your feelings on somebody else, but then you're also putting the feelings on yourself, because you're like, man, why did I put myself in a situation to expect more?
Yeah.
Outside of the fact that this person let you down, it's also like you let yourself down because you believed,
Yeah.
Mm.
like, so
Well, I mean,
it is.
so that's so, yeah. When it comes back to the movie, there's a scene near the end where, what was it? I think when they had the boat that was stuck in the tree,
Hmm.
and they were all sitting there, they're trying to help. I forget who's still stuck in there. There was
It
the
was,
capybara.
The
yeah, it
capybara,
was a
yeah.
capybara.
Yeah, so they're all jumping in and trying to, grab the rope and try to help, keep the boat up. And then when all the dogs saw that, what was it? Something.
The lab door was helping them.
No, but
They
then something went down the hill, or I think it was
No,
like a
no,
they
like
saw
a
the
rabbit or
rabbit.
something.
They
Yeah,
saw a
yeah.
rabbit again.
So all the other dogs are just like, all right, fuck that, I'm going after. I got to go get mine. So they all go after the rabbit, and the lab was like, no, I got to stick here with the people that had my back.
Yeah.
I wonder if in a movie like this with no words, if a child would understand that scene.
Hmm.
Maybe at a certain age, but then there's also the opposite side of it. Like, those dogs just couldn't defy their instincts.
Yeah.
A dog's instinct is to, like, chase something.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So it might have not been malicious. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it might have been like, oh shit. And then it's like, damn it, this part of my makeup, I couldn't, like, resist it right then and there.
Yeah.
You know, there.
Is it kind of like stop? Don't be mad at your boy that's always stealing because you knew he was always stealing.
Yeah.
Like, it's like he just did what he always does. Like,
Yeah.
you maybe don't hang around that dude no more because if
I
you
don't go certain places with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel the lessons in this movie are really deep and really good. And I just wonder if this is a movie that can translate those lessons to younger kids versus adults who might look at it. An adult might look at it like, man, this is really powerful. I'd love to share it with my kid or something like that. But then, like you said before, do you want to over explain to the child? Or are you trying to explain how you see it to them versus letting them see it how they see it, kind of thing? Because that's one of the things that, like, sometimes you ask yourself whether you're allowing your child or a child to develop their own sense of morals versus trying to push your own morals on them.
I mean, they're gonna develop their own sense because they're their own human being. All you can do is just try to teach them. I can't even say the right way to be because, I mean, shit, what's right? Sometimes you gotta do bad shit to get the right result.
Yeah, that's
Just
true.
saying, you know what I'm saying?
True. I mean, that's one of those things where it's like justice isn't always doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. Like, again, like, what do you see? Have you seen another Disney movie or any other animated movies that have gotten this type of philosophical message out?
I want to say yes, but only because I think I looked for it myself, which is my favorite anime movie, Hercules.
I thought your favorite anime movie was I don't know. I was gonna come up with a
Cheek Juice, The Revenge.
Sausage Party.
Sausage Party is actually funny, but it's not my favorite movie.
Yeah.
So the only other movie that I don't want to say, but like I felt like dove into that, but it was in a very kid friendly way, was Inside Out, like dealing with your inner emotions.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was less subtle than this movie because it was like, oh, okay, it kind of was very smart because it explained emotions and how to have them appropriately if you're a child and like, honestly, it probably broke it down to people that don't even know, like, this is stuff that children are going through. Like, you know what I mean? Like you don't know exactly what somebody's going through until they actually do it,
I don't even think children. I think even some adults go through that. You know what I'm saying?
But some people don't understand certain emotions and when they come from. Like if somebody, like, for example, if you like all of a sudden are just angry right now, some people will be like, why is Sarat always angry?
Listen, I asked the same question whenever anybody's angry. It's like, yo, you on your period?
Look, sometimes the answer is yes.
Yeah, sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. But no, I get it. Like, something like that movie, Inside Out, was a great movie where it made the idea of the different emotions a person goes through very accessible to a younger audience and to an older audience who might not delve that deep into their own emotions. I feel like it's a very, new millennium kind of thing to really, like, sit down and really take stock in your own emotions. I know we do it here on the pod a lot, but I don't know really if you're going to have that kind of conversation out in the wild unless it's with people you trust. Like, when's the last time you talked to a stranger? Like, hey, man, what you going through today?
First of all, the black scent.
Hell no. I grew up, listen.
Like,
there ain't no such thing as a black scent. It's called an urban dialect.
Oh, gosh.
I'm messing with you. Look at how defensive Sarat. Hey, man,
bro,
why you always defensive, man?
I've been accused of that before. I've been accused of talking with a black accent. I say I grew up around, urban people. It's an urban accent.
Hey.
Okay, Aquafina.
Hey, man, I love you, and I understand you, okay?
Look.
¿Qué pasa?
Oh, gosh.
When's the last time you really had a conversation with a stranger or someone you weren't really tight about emotions?
I guess drinking when you are using a social lubricant to, like, speak about. I don't know. Like,
do you think people are just afraid to? I mean, clearly people are afraid to delve into the idea of emotions, but why?
I don't think people are afraid. I think it's just how society is. Like, imagine if I came to work and we just finished a meeting and I'm like, hey, man, you know what? I've been feeling sad lately. And the person just wanted to know if you finished your part of the
I
project.
know. Like,
And
hey,
it's like,
motherfucker, shut the fuck up. Put them pepperonis on and get the fuck on.
Yeah, pretty much, you know what I'm saying? But you also gotta know who you can actually, you know what? That's a lie. Because sometimes you don't know who you can lay that type of energy on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I've been in situations meeting random people where I've had great conversations about life, never seen them again. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And then around everyday people and can't talk about race.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's, it's so I don't know. Man, I walked up the store the other day and it was an older woman. She walked in and I was like, "How you doing today?" She was like, "Not good. I just told my husband bye." And I was like, "Oh," and probably like want to like do something. They're probably just like, "I don't know what to do." So yeah, I'll see you
you
later.
you were like, all
She's
right, I'm gonna
like,
go ahead and get my my fruit and put it in my bag and put it in my cart. And
I was like, "You need a shot?" I was
it's like it's like, yeah, we want people to talk about their emotions, but then it's like when you're hit with it, like imagine you're pumping gas and then you like somebody you just see at the gas station randomly, you're like, hey, like you give the head nod and it's like, what's up, man? Or my neighbor, like I'm like, what's up, man? And then he's like, not much, man. I just feeling down today, and it's like I'm gonna be like, oh, like I don't
man,
know.
man, I asked you just out of conversation. I didn't really want to talk to you.
no,
Yeah,
but I mean,
like
okay, what do you think? What would happen if you engage in a conversation with that? Like, have you ever engaged in a conversation where someone just randomly put that on you? Hey,
See,
man, I ain't been doing too good today, bro. My fucking STDs is acting up. It's just not good.
if if I if I have the time, yeah, I'll engage.
Yeah.
But I'm a weirdo, like
it's not.
because you know what I mean. Like it could be I know it sounds crazy, but it could be the last human interaction this person has. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah,
could take
yeah,
like it takes a kind word to reverse a temporary emotion that could lead to permanent action or permanent feelings. Like you know what I mean?
yeah.
Bro,
Like
you like Dominican Buddha.
I, this guy.
He's
So
doing
you're
I,
it.
trying to I am El Buddha?
El Buddha. No,
Oh man,
I like engaging in conversations with people and maybe not really going sometimes not going too deep, but engaging in a conversation that's a little more personal because instead of just keeping it, surface, hey, did you see the new Daredevil? Sometimes I like getting into like a deeper conversation because realistically, and this is speaking for myself, sometimes you just never know what a person's going through. Sometimes
yes,
you don't know when the last person's been asked, hey man, how you doing today? Like honestly, how are you feeling today?
yeah,
Sometimes when you ask that question, it gets people to be like, "Hey, man, like, it's okay to just not feel as up to par as everybody expects you to feel."
mm,
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah.
All right. Well, that's the movie Flow. Chris's choice. Very introspective and thoughtful movie, which we did not expect from Chris.
Yeah.
Look, just because I like pork chops and grape soda,
No, I just there
you know what
wasn't no
I'm saying?
Terrence Howard in this movie.
Look, I don't even like him.
Yeah, right, liar.
My favorite black actor, of course, not Denzel Washington. We all know that.
Hell no, it's Tyler Perry.
Jake.
You got you got you got Medea 1 through 10 on Blu-ray.
All right, Bolo.
Wait, did you just call that man Bolo? Yeah. Damn.
Hey man, that's Chinese Hercules, man.
Like,
Don't do that kind of face, bro. You don't look like.
Isn't that what he did in Bloodsport? He's like,
I was like, yeah,
I'm pretty sure I'm about to use that line from what was it, Tropic Thunder? And you watch your mouth, boy. That means that's the treasure.
pump them brakes. That meant the national treasure.
200
Oh man.
Ugh. All right, yeah. Well, that's the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. Once again, it is your boy Sarat, aka Makazi.
Your boy Chris Brown, aka Red Foot Delta.
Your boy at the Sunset Kid Marcos. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we'll be back next week with a movie of Marco's choice. Hopefully,
Correct.
it's probably gonna be like the the origin of David Ortiz or some shit.
You'd watch that because he played for Boston.
Hell yeah.
Like,
See?
first of all, it's not going to be a Boston Red Sox movie. A Sox movie, it's not.
Man.
But I got a couple ideas. We'll figure it out.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it, brother.
All right.
All
Catch
right.
y'all later.
Did you just dap yourself
Solid.
up?
Yeah, he did.
Listen, with all due respect, I've had to shit this entire podcast, so I'm just gonna be glad to just. Yeah, I know we're still going, and I'm gonna leave this in too. I'm just saying, as soon as I stop record, my ass is gonna go download. Is all I'm saying.
All right.
I'm a warrior.